This representation's topic is issues of family enterprise. The editor's name is Zhao, DBA student of California Intercontinental University. The name of the course is MGT660, assignment number 6. The professor's name is Dr. Charles Williams, and the date is February the 16th, 2020. This slide is about family enterprise and definition. A family enterprise is a commercial organization in which decision-making is influenced by multiple generations of the family. They are closely identified with the firm through leadership or ownership. Owner-manager entrepreneurial firms are not considering to be family business because their lack of multi-generational dimensions, family influence that create the unique dynamics and relationships of family businesses. This slide the success factor of the family enterprise. The first factor is human capital. The first resource is the family's human capital or inner circle, where the skill sets of different family members are coordinated as complementary coach of knowledge. With a clear division of labor, the likelihood of success improves significantly. The second factor of is social capital. The family members bring valuable social capital to the business in the form of networking and other external relationships that complement the insider's skill sets. The third factor is financial capital. The family firm typically has patient financial capital in the form of both equity and debt financing from family members. The family relationships between investors and managers reduces the threat of liquidation. The fourth success factor is survivability capital. The family company must manage its survivability capital. Family members' willingness to provide free labor or emergency loans to be ventured doesn't fail. The fifth factor is lower cost of governance. The family business must manage its ability to hold down the cost of governance. In non-family firms, these include costs for things such as special accounting systems, security systems, policy manuals, legal documents, and other mechanisms to reduce theft and monitor employees' work habits. The family firms must minimize or eliminate these costs because employees and managers are related and trust each other. It is quite important to have the strategic planning as a business family leader or manager. Creating and implementing a strategic plan is critical to any business success, but family businesses face unique challenges that public companies and entrepreneurial companies do not. Not only they have to consider large funded disruptors, but they also have to consider about specific challenges. For example, positioning of their companies, creating a culture, hiring and implementing a succession plan. So it is important to consider about the positioning of family firm. Often companies charge their sales and marketing departments with creating leads to keep the pipeline full. Creating activities for the sake of running a hamster wheel isn't a strategic business development plan. Once established, family businesses find themselves in the state of businesses or noisy activity. If a company is interchangeable with many others and your customer's quality is lower than preferred, then it's a positioning issue at hand. A company's strategic plan begins with a review and statement of positioning, from which the rest of the plan unfolds. Your company's positioning is not a mission statement or a customer value proposition. Positioning clearly defined as you do who for whom and the proven outcome. What you do may be easy to define, but often the company's audience is too broad. Proven outcomes can be harder to define still as a statement. It is a statement of fact or even a guarantee. The first strategic planning factor is human capital. Human capital is defined as knowledge, abilities, and skills that reside within the company and the business family. It is one of the key success factors of family enterprise. As families need to work harder to attract the top talent, it makes sense to focus on candidates as a whole rather than just on individuals' education. This is why it makes sense to employ people for who they are and not what they know. For some roles, people obviously require a particular set of skills. However, new employees need to be onboarded and taught the processes and systems that are unique to the company to be the company either way. By doing this, businesses are able to attract top talents where there is also culture fit. Attracting new talent is one thing, but the company's success is also dependent on engaging its employees. When employees enjoy working for a company, they are more effective and creative. They are often be willing to give the little extra or develop into what the organization might demand of them. Social capital is another success factor, important crucial factor of family business. So what makes the family business different? And why do some thrive through multiple generations while others do not? The answer, as many experts in the field have positioned, may lie in some quite intangible, the idea of social capital long before the handle of social anything was in vague. It is emotional identity that can muddy the waters between the professional and personal. Thus, further to create business issues may take a higher degree of collaboration, dialogue, and interactions. Often the outside consultant can suggest rules of the road that can make a huge difference. As financial advisors, just experiencing family dynamics that can limit a business growth and otherwise threatening its survival. Financial capital is both monetary and physical assets owned by family members individually and collectively, in addition to patient investment made by a family which does not require repayment in the short term. Generally, financial capital include equity capital, debt capital, and specialty capital. Equity capital is represent the company's assets minus its liabilities. Some businesses are often funded entirely with equity capital, which is cash invested by the shareholders or owners into a company that has no offsetting liabilities. Debt capital is the money given as a loan to a business with understanding that it must be paid back by a predetermined date. In the meantime, the owner of the capital agrees to accept the interest payments in exchange for using the money. Think of interest expense as the cost of renting the capital to expand your business. It's often known as cost of capital. Survivability factor. Survivability is the ability to remain alive and continue to exist. Survivability capital refers to the factors that make a family business survive. For example, it's cash in the bank, relationships with customers, vendors, and business plans. Family adaptive capital is also related to family adaptive capability affected by the likelihood of business firm survival and growth. Stress pile-up and consistent, inflexible, and family leadership diminish the capacity to respond to natural disasters. Adaptive capacity is the type of survivability capital. There are many procedures in opening the family enterprise. The first step is to make sure that running a small business is right for you. It takes time, commitment, and good idea, the right personality, and at least a few basic business skills to start and run a small business successfully. Another great resource There are many great resources from the United States or from the SBA in advising how to run a successful small business in the United States. The second step is decide on a business structure. Most small businesses are operated as one of the following: sole proprietorship, ownership or operator or self-employed, general partnerships, or one or more partner corporations. The next step is developing a business plan. There's no doubt to hear about drafting and completion of the business plan. If you have someone review your business plan, make an appointment with the business advisor from the SBA. If you are seeking financing, submitting a business proposal, or just looking for a professional assessment. The next step is secure your financing. For your new small business to succeed, you need to have enough money to cover business startup's cost and daily operating expenses for at least 3 months. If you haven't enough money for startup through family, friends, loans, or lines of credit, you may need to consider outside sources of financing. The next step is choose a business name and have it approved. The next step is register a business. Registering business includes registering the corporation or sole proprietorship or general partnership, or register the tax accounts from the IRS and local tax departments. You may need to consider about additional registrations or requirements before you open your small business. Get support is one of the important factors in opening a successful family business. Entrepreneurs are fortunate that there is so much support from the government and local resources to get help to launch or grow a successful business. Some of the best advice and guidance you can receive will generally come from experienced business owners themselves. And check out other useful resources. In addition to the SBA and local small business management resources, there are a number of other places where small business owners can look for new business opportunities. There are a lot of online resources families entrepreneurs can follow, and there are all of other different resources you can get from the training and educational program. There are 3 lessons of a family enterprise. The first one is behind a successful leader, there is a skilled management team. The next one is plan for succession and train your next generation of leaders. The third one is seize opportunities. Actually, there are also other lessons of the family enterprises. For example, family members are a great resource of sweat equity. With time going on, the business leaders and family enterprise managers need to learn from lessons from survivability, capital, and financing capital, social capital, and human capital. They need to pay attention to every aspect of the business and every small, tiny errors or mistakes of the family enterprise, so that they will avoid making the same errors or mistakes in the future. In conclusion, as family enterprise or family business, they have human capital, social capital, financial capital, and survivability capital for a family business. Business leaders and managers need to learn from past errors and mistakes they have made and avoid making the same errors and mistakes in the future. They need to have different kinds of capital so that they will lead a successful family business. This page is references. There are 3 sources for reference for this presentation. The first one is Wikipedia. The article's name is Family Business. And the next one, the author's name is Christina May. The title of the article is Why Strategic Planning is Crucial for Family Business. The third source is Entrepreneur. The name of the article is Family Business.